This is the 2024 Acura TLX A-Spec. Is it the perfect sedan for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Acura and we're going to go over the particulars on this 24 TLX A-Spec. If you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video. And don't forget, it's only here at Acura, the Vehicle Visionary discount, $500 off if you come in and buy any new Acura model and tell whoever you work with from the sales staff that you saw my video on this vehicle. So let's talk about, well, first of all, the exterior color. This is all new for 2024. Urban Gray Pearl is what this exterior color is called. Up until this year, this was not available on the TLX. But let's talk about what's not here before we talk about what is here. And you'll notice that that plate that used to be right up here is no longer here. That really cleans things up. It just, to me, that looked out of place. Now, without it being here, it looks a little bit more the way it should. LED lighting basically everywhere you look. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. The flickering effects you see has to do with my camera. It's not really happening. No, you can't make that happen on your TLX. You might get pulled over if you could, because they might think you're trying to impersonate a police officer. We wouldn't want that. And LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper. Now, if you're thinking about or trying to make a decision between the TLX and, say, the Honda Accord, here's one thing that is a big difference between the two. With the Accord, no matter what trim level, no matter if you go hybrid or non-hybrid, you will only have front-wheel drive. With the TLX, you're going to have special handling all-wheel drive. With this A-Spec model, let's talk about our tire and wheel size. We're looking at 255 on the width, a 40 series sidewall wrapped around the 19-inch wheels. And let me pull the remote out. No matter what trim level of the TLX you go with for 2024, you will have that button on your remote. That is your remote start. That's one of the changes we'll also see for this model year. Gloss black on the mirror caps. You're going to have your power adjustable side view mirrors with turn signal indicators built in. They are heated. Now you'll notice that you don't have your blind spot information system. Well, that doesn't mean it isn't here. It's just on the inside of the doors, right here on the driver and passenger sides. So that's there. By the way, that remote is a proximity key and it has the walk away feature and a little bit of a sporty look here with the gloss black rear spoiler. That seems to fit perfectly. And your LED tail lights, obviously the A-Spec logo a few different places, and your SH all-wheel drive or special handling all-wheel drive. And something that I think, to me, is more attractive when it's here as opposed to when it's not, and that's going to be the exhaust outlets. We're starting to see less of that. Not a lot just yet, but there are more and more models that are coming out from different manufacturers that don't have exhaust outlets anymore. Speaking of that, what's under the hood? Let's open the hood and find out. Under the hood is the 2-liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 272 horsepower and it's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And we'll take a look at the window sticker, which we'll have to open the door here to do that, but we'll get a good look at it because we don't have to look through the window tint to see it. Here are your MPGs, 21 city, 29 highway, 24 combined, and 4.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're curious, you have a lockable gas door right here, capless fuel fill, and a 15.9 gallon gas tank. And maybe you're watching this video for the pure purpose to find out how to open the trunk from the outside. The button is located right here. I know sometimes people have questions about that, and I can understand. Once you see it, it's no big deal. We're looking at 13.4 cubic feet of cargo capacity. And while there's plastic on these releases, you pull on these releases right here to lower the rear seats. We'll go inside here and show you how to make it even easier to have additional cargo space. If we can get that all the way down. Sometimes the seats are a little far back, but there is how you maximize your cargo capacity. And as far as your rear seat passengers go, nice looking interior, a nice design throughout. As far as the patterns on the seats go, gives it a nice sporty look. Now if you press down on the armrest right here. It actually feels rather firm, but when you actually put your arm up there, it's not so bad. A reasonable amount of room within the door bin right there. And we'll hop on inside and see what else is here to be found. Rear seat pockets on both seats. And for those of you who are looking for rear air conditioning vents, you can check that off. You can also check off the USB options, as there are two. A very comfortable back seat area, by the way. Maybe not the largest, but definitely not the smallest at the same time. And here's your fold down center armrest with the cup holders built in and a little bit of storage. Also a sunroof here. So let's take a look at that. Conventional size sunroof, not panoramic. Some people like that, some people don't. For me personally, I don't want a sunroof in my vehicle, period. But everybody has their preferences. If you do want a sunroof, this is going to be a sunroof that will slide and tilt open. And that is the greeting when you hop into the TLX. Now let's talk about pricing. So here is your base price. Now you will find an addendum over here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything that's here. Here are the added options, added features, and here is the ultimate price, just in case you were curious. And we'll reach over and hit our push button start, and you'll see the animated graphics that come up. Once again here, a little bit of a different look to that as to the instrument cluster. And let's look over here on the driver's side door. All the typical controls you expect to see. I think you know what all is there. You have your two settings for seat memory, and you can adjust the steering wheel position, tilt and telescopically, by dropping that lever right there. And with the digital dash, here's something interesting. When you turn the headlights on, you'll see the lights come on the likeness of the TLX there in the center of the dashboard. When you put your foot on the brake, you'll see the brake lights come on. And when you go into drive, it goes into the ready, set, go position. At least that's what I like to call it. And when you go into reverse, you'll also notice what's back here. You do have parking sensors front and rear on this model. You can also see that over here on the infotainment screen, in addition to your camera view. Got a couple of different views there that you can look at depending on what you need to see and where you need to see. Steering wheel mounted controls, pretty easy to figure out what's there. I do like the size of the shifter paddles because they're nice and large, easy to get to. And obviously you're going to control your headlights over on this side, off, auto. You can turn them on or off, whatever you want to do, and your fog lights as well. This is also the turn signal lever, so you can see what's going on, or people around you can know what's going on when you're changing lanes or turning or whatever you're doing. In case you ever wondered how people turned those on, now you know. Right here, control your windshield wipers and running your windshield washer fluid when the windshield is dirty. Now, the infotainment screen is really far away. I can't even reach that sitting back in my seat. That's why it is not a touch screen. You will use the trackpad down here to deal with that. Not a big deal in my opinion. So you do have your built-in navigation. That's pretty easy to deal with. Some of you like to know about that, so I like to make sure I mention that. A very simple system to use. And everything here is wireless. So you're going to have all of your different adjustments here. Easy to pair your smartphone, no big deal where that is concerned. Dual zone climate control. In fact, I'm going to take advantage of that right now and turn that down a little bit as it is warming up out here in Northwest Louisiana. And there is everything as far as how that goes. Now, you will find that you have heated seats for the driver and the passenger, and even better, you have ventilated seats. I am a big fan of ventilated seats. If you want to use brake hold mode, you can turn that on right there or turn it off. Same thing with the auto stop start system, or idle stop as it is often known. Now you have your push button shifter right here. Nothing new, but that's what you have for now. Now, how about our driving modes? Let's go through those driving modes. In fact, we'll start with normal. You go to comfort, and we go back down here to sport. And then if you push that in the middle, you have individual. And so you can go in and make a lot of changes to different areas of the vehicle. And the trackpad's so simple to use. You see some of your one-touch features right there for going back, going home, all that. You're also going to have your volume control for the radio. You can surf back and forth between stations. And something else that is standard across all trim levels as of 2024 is going to be your wireless charging pad. You have your drink holders right there. Here is your lid for the center console. Plenty of space within and some options for connectivity with USB and a 12-volt power outlet. We'll go up here to our upper console. You have a sunglass holder right here. That comes in handy, and then controls for several different functions, including the positioning of your sunroof, whether you want to open or close that. Just a quick look around at the passenger side over here. Nice look with the interior and a very large glove box. That will come in handy for storage. And you can see with the bag right here, one of the upgrades that you have with this model. I showed you that addendum sticker earlier. The good thing is that one of the things they added are wheel locks. That makes it more difficult for people to steal your wheels. And earlier in the video, I showed you what happens when you first get in. In the same way, you have the exit animation and sound. Acura's way of saying goodbye. Okay, we're out on the road for our test drive with this TLX, and as you could expect with the special handling all-wheel drive, well, it handles well. It has special handling, right? But that's a good thing because it does give it those better handling characteristics. And for those of you who often comment on my Honda Accord videos, well, you have the advantage of something you don't get with the Accord, at least not right now. I don't know if we'll ever see Honda offer all-wheel drive with the Accord, but if that's what you're looking for in something similar, this is a great place to look. The ride quality is good to me. That's one thing that I like to mention, is the fact that if you're used to a certain vehicle that has a certain ride quality, you might hop into a TLX and say, wow, Tom, you really underrated the ride quality. You might say that I said it was smoother than it really is, or maybe not as smooth as it really is. It just depends on what you're used to. Everybody has those things that we've kind of built in based on what we're used to driving. And so that's just kind of the way it goes. So that's why I always encourage people to get in and drive these vehicles for yourselves. I feel like the test drive is maybe the least useful part of these videos on YouTube where we review these vehicles. And obviously, it has room for cargo, maybe not quite as much as the Accord, but you have room back there in the trunk. You can lower the rear seats and take care of everything as far as that goes to increase your cargo capacity. So a very good daily driver in a multitude of ways. It's going to get you around just fine, and when you go into sport mode, you can have a little more fun. Unfortunately, with this truck in front of me, he has yet to be any closer than 7 miles under the speed limit, so we haven't been able to really have any fun and do anything. So hopefully he's going straight. He is, and that means that I can finally turn and drive the speed limit at least. And technology here, while I know there's a lot of people that talk about how they don't like the touch screen, they'd rather, or excuse me, the lack of a touch screen, they'd rather have a touch screen. It's not difficult to master. Once you get used to that trackpad, no big deal. For people who maybe have never had this kind of technology before, you're not going to know the difference. So there's a benefit depending on who you are and what you're used to having, or maybe I should say not having. But that's one thing, regardless of whether it's a touch screen or not, you definitely don't have to worry about any issues with difficult to learn technology. So where Acura is concerned, it's actually a pretty nice setup, easy to deal with. And I do feel very comfortable here. I can adjust the seat beyond what I already have if I wanted to, but since I'm just doing this short test drive, not a big deal. I'm not going to go crazy trying to adjust this seat perfectly, but at 5'10", I have plenty of room. I feel like somebody well in excess of 6 feet tall could sit here in the driver's seat, adjust the seat accordingly, and be very, very comfortable. So tell me what you think about the 2024 Acura TLX A-Spec. And what do you think about this new exterior color of urban gray pearl? Is it the perfect sedan for you? Curious to know what your thoughts are. What is it you're looking for that maybe isn't here? What do you like that is? I'm always curious to receive your feedback. Don't forget about the Vehicle Visionary discount, only available here at Acura. If you come in and buy your new vehicle here, you can take advantage of that. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at the dealership for loaning me this TLX for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you want to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.